What's up, everybody? Doing back. Welcome to a brand new video. Today is going to be doing a Shin Godzilla news and updates. It's been quite a while since we've done one of these. So I'm going to kind of rush through this one, starting out with that kind of funny thing that we always start with. This is just really impressive. The fact is someone actually made this out of snow. It's obviously Shin Godzilla's first, or technically second form, Kamata-kun. So very impressive. Good job to you. Second thing is, and this one is unconfirmed, take these next two as unconfirmed because I don't know if they're 100% true. This one is translated from a Japanese person trying to translate to English, came out to roughly say that there was going to be like a one-day IMAX re-release of Shin Godzilla in Japan. Now, is this true? I don't quite know. I have not found any more information on it, but this one person just said that, and I don't know if it's true or not, they just said that there was going to be like a one-day re-release. So if you guys happen to know the truth on this one, I would be very interested to hear, and I would make sure to mention it in the next news update. Same thing with this one. I think it's Anno or Higuchi. It's one of the two of them. I think it's Higuchi. I think it's Shinji Higuchi. I think it's this guy. Is going to go to G-Fest 2017. That's going to be really cool. Sadly, I don't get to go, not that I know of. I wish I could go to G-Fest, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So it's just cool to know that he's going. If this is true, I think it is. If this is true, just tell me which one of the two it is. I've not found any more information on this either. I went on G-Fest's website and tried to find it. They didn't really have anything listed. So I believe it's Shinji Higuchi. Also, there's these new Shin Godzilla magnets that are coming out. They're pretty cool. I guess they're on the Godzilla store. If you want to pick them up, they're coming to the Godzilla store. They're just like movie screenshots, and they look pretty cool. Also, there's a new poster coming out for Shin Godzilla. It's like I think this is like a fan-made kind of thing, but it's very high quality, obviously. You guys can see the URL up at the top there, so go check it out. It is really cool. If you want to buy it, I'm not going to get it, but if you want to get it, I would recommend it because it does look really cool. There's a SoftBank lottery link down below, SoftBank lottery, where you can enter into potentially win a Shin Godzilla DVD set. Now this one's not going to be the 4K Blu-ray or anything like that. I'm guaranteed at some point or another to order the 4K Blu-ray, the 4 set. I think it's the acrylic set 7 from the Godzilla store. However, because Godzilla store only ships to Japan, I have to go through a third party, which is actually one of my friends. So I'm going to have to ship to him, and then he'll ship to me. So that'll be sweet when that happens. Now let's get into the figure news, and this is pretty much going to be the rest of the video, is figures and statues. So figure news, we'll start out with SH Monster Arts because, well, I just pre-ordered some of the SH Monster Arts. We'll talk about that here in a second. Here's all three of them sitting next to each other, all three of the upcoming releases. I think that Atomic Breath effect on the Awakening version, that specific Atomic Breath effect, really well done. I think it's awesome. It looks pretty big too. It looks like that Atomic Breath effect alone is about the size of Shinagawa-kun. So that's really cool. I think it's awesome, and I cannot wait to pick that guy up. I just pre-ordered these two for 150 bucks. I got them right before pre-orders ended, apparently. I did not know that pre-orders ended today, but apparently they did, and I ordered them. I believe I ordered them yesterday. So, yeah, it's going to be really cool when they get here. I'll get them in late March or early April, so that'll be really cool. And I can't wait to review them with you guys. Now we have, we'll run through the pictures of them really fast because there's been new pictures of them. Here's Kamata-kun. He looks really good. The paint on Kamata-kun looks awesome, so it is very movie accurate. The sculpt is amazing. I really like the gills. I like what they're doing with the gills. Looks really nice. And here's some prototypey pictures of Kamata-kun. So yeah, here's just like the prototype where you guys can see the articulation. Of course, it looks better when it's painted. Here's Shinagawa-kun, who I have some major problems with, such as the fact that he's more of this tannish color like Kamachi-kun. However, he should be all red, because in the movie, he is all red. And also, even the tail on Shinagawa-kun here is arguing with me that there is a face on the tail, so that's kind of funny. Obviously, that face was not on this form of Godzilla in the movie. It was just completely not present. It is very clear that it's not there in the movie, so we did a whole 20-minute video on that. I don't have to restate that here. We'll talk more about, a little bit more about the tail at the end, but because I just did that tail explained video, I'm not going to go into in depth with it. Here's some more pictures of Shinagawa-kun. These are the prototypey pictures where you guys can see just different positions and articulation at work. Looks really nice. Like I said, the sculpt is just so good on this guy. The only problem that I have with him is the paint needs to be more red. However, I don't think it will be when the final release is out. Here's the two of them together on the human hand, just to give a size comparison. Here's the box for them. I actually do prefer the original box for the SHMA Star's Shin Godzilla a lot more. It was just a red box with the SHMA Star's Godzilla face on there, and it was recreating the poster. I thought it was a lot more artistic and a lot more subtle than this one's just kind of in your face, shoving it down your throat. I don't really like this one as much. Here is the Godzilla Awakening version. This guy's really awesome for Shin Godzilla. The purple just looks so good. Here he is with the atomic breath coming out. Split jaw atomic breath looks really nice. Then there's that big base, that big fire base that I think is just absolutely incredible. They did change up the face sculpt quite a bit from the original one, from the original release. I actually own the original release. They changed up the face sculpt quite a bit, so it looks a lot more aggressive on this form, so I think that's really awesome. Now getting into some of the other figure news, there's just whatever this is coming out soon. It's like one of those, I'm assuming it's rubber. It doesn't look like it's made of anything else. Maybe it's plastic, I don't quite know. Here's some other versions of them. Like, they're not, obviously, all of them are different brands, clearly, but they do have some similarities enough, I guess, to where I just group them in as, like, the same kind of figures and toys and whatever you want to call them. Now getting into the Wonderfest releases, which is like these models and these sculpts and everything like that. Really amazing stuff from Wonderfest. Obviously, I think this stuff is just absolutely incredible, especially this one on the top right here. This one with that like weird, I don't know what to call it, like tree branches coming out of his neck, looks incredible. Moving into the actual good stuff. So I don't know if this was part of Wonderfest or not. This one just came out around the time, but it looks like they're going to be doing a release of Shin Godzilla's biology map, and of course you can fold it up into the origami as seen in the movie. This is really cool. I mean, if this is actually coming out, depending on how cheap it is, I might order it, because I just think that's really awesome. I love Shin Godzilla, and I think that's like a really neat kind of thing that they're putting out. Obviously, it's faked. Like, this is not the actual map of biology, because guess what? He doesn't exist, and even if he did, he's made of elements that stated in the movie do not exist. So it's like this is obviously a made-up thing. So don't think you can. You know, I don't know if you'd get any ideas, but don't, because they would fall flat and you'd be disappointed. I just think it's like a cool little display thing. Getting into the actual statues from Wonderfest, here you guys can see one of the new statues coming out. Looks really cool. Some of the carrier info up at the top right hand. Here's more statues. This one looks really good. The detail on this one's incredible. Here he is again. Here's this guy. He looks pretty cool. He has the face clearly defined in the tail. Same with this guy. This guy looks really nice as well. Looks very menacing. Kamachi-kun. Don't mention the tail on this guy. I know. I've seen that before. There's going to be the one last video we'll ever talk about the tail. Will be coming out within the next month or so. And don't point it out. I see it. But just know that that was... I'm not going to get into it here. There will be a whole video explaining this coming up in the future, so I don't need to get into this now. Shinagawa-kun here looks really nice. Here is the weirdest stuff in the world. So here is this statue we've been talking about for a while coming up here at Wonderfest. I don't know where, like, what is this eye? It's really, so, you know, here's the weirdest thing in the world. So some of my younger viewers might be a little bit creeped out by this. I get it. It is a little odd. So this is that tail statue we've been talking about for the past few news updates. It is pretty cool. There's this eye clearly defined and growing inside the tail that we'll see here. Now we see where it is located, right in this big crevice in the face, where the mouth is actually on the inside of the tail, so this part splits open. That's where the eye is, where it splits open. So obviously that was not there in the movie up until apparently it was never seen in the movie, but apparently it was present during the final scene when the tail finally evolves into the face. So of course this actually adds to my argument that there is no face in the tail all the way up until that scene, which is the whole point of that 20-minute Godzilla Explained we just did. So I'm not going to get into, like I said, I'm not going to get into it, my defense or arguments here. That will be its own video, and that will be the final video on the tail. I don't understand why everyone needs the clarification on the tail, just so much argument about it, and I don't really care at this point. Here's a full statues. It is actually really large, so that's pretty neat. Looks really cool. I think it's great. Now getting into the X Plus info, and we'll end the video here with the X Plus stuff. So here we have the new X Plus Shin Godzilla. Looks like they're doing a third one. This one's a lot bigger than the other ones they've done apparently. This one just looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see it all painted up. Here is their here's their Kamata-kun, I'm sorry, and then here's their Shinagawa-kun. So these guys look really neat as well. They look like they're going to be pretty big, 30 centimeter, which is a lot bigger than I would have expected. I would have figured that these two would be 18 inch, and then the other one would be 30 cent. So I don't know, they're all 30 centimeter, and then the other one's bigger, so it's pretty sweet. That's really everything. We kind of just blew through everything Wonderfest had to offer for Shin Godzilla, and then there will be another video coming out, just a regular Godzilla news update that will cover everything else, including, and I know I didn't add it in this video, even though it does relate to this topic, but it includes the NECA Shin Godzilla will be in that future Godzilla, just that straight up Godzilla news update that is not for Shin Godzilla. So I know a lot of people want to hear my thoughts on the NECA Shin Godzilla now that there's an official, almost finalized design out there, and that will be in that video. Sorry to make you wait, but I just don't have the time to do it in this one, and that'll also help make something good out of the other one, I guess. I don't know. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. D-Man, out.